Mike Pervolarakis of men's tennis makes history again. Men's and women's hoops take part in the WCC tip-off event in Vegas, and we sit down for a one-on-one with head coach Terry Porter. Portside of the Pilots starts right now. Welcome to another edition of Portside of the Pilots. I'm your host, Adam Lindman. Senior Mike Pervolarakis is making a habit of making history on the court, and he recently became the first ever Portland men's tennis player to win the ITA Northwest Regional Championship. In the title match in Stockton, California on Monday, Pervolarakis defeated Cal's Jack Malloy in straight sets. Pervolarakis won his final 3 matches, all against players from Cal in straight sets, after battling through 3 consecutive three-setters to reach the quarterfinals. The native of Cyprus was the tournament's #2 seed, and he's ranked number 95 nationally.
The magnitude is when you look at that trophy, and I think the first time it was engraved was 1949. It was a little rickety bringing home, but you realize, how many great players have won this event. It's just a really cool title to have. The region is so tough with Stanford and Cal, and Washington usually really good. The fact that Mike beat Stanford, Cal on 4 successive matches, that made it pretty nice, and it was really cool to be one of the only teams still around in the last day for sure.
The Portland men's soccer team kept their unblemished conference record intact last weekend with a commanding 3-0 win at LMU. Malcolm Dixon opened the scoring for the Pilots with his first goal of the season in the 37th minute, and Eric Edwardson made it a 2-goal game when he buried a shot in the second half. Benji Michel, who is among the nation's leaders in goals, tallied number 11 on the year late in the game, and the number 25 team in the RPI left Los Angeles with the win.
Such a good thing about our team is that we're able to kind of get results even when we're not playing at our best. So Malcolm's goal, the first goal that we scored, was huge, and it really gave us a lift, and I think from there we started to get our foot in on the match and dominate, and it was obviously good to get on the score sheet myself and help the team get a little bit of insurance, and then obviously another goal at the end with Benji was just kind of the cherry on top. The theme all year has just been our belief in each other and everybody on the roster, and we were able to kind of put it together even when things weren't really going our way at some stages during the match.
Women's soccer picked up their second straight win when they shut out Northwest rival Gonzaga 1-0 on a stormy Saturday night at Merlo Field. Junior keeper Rachel Lusby made a handful of stops to record the clean sheet, and the Pilots dominated possession and created several opportunities throughout the night. The game winner came in the 77th minute when freshman Ellie Walker scored her first career goal, slotting one home from the center of the 18-yard box.
The goal was bound to go in the very beginning of the game. In like the first 15 minutes, we were just right in front of their goal, and someone just needed to bury one, so it was bound to happen, especially off our corner kicks. Just to be able to get that one and then be able to keep the shutout was great. We were just trying to click as a team, so it's good to get 2 in a row to see that we're starting to find a rhythm.
Volleyball also hosted the Gonzaga Bulldogs on Saturday, and the Pilots got off to a solid start, dominating the opening set, which included a 10-0 run from Portland. The Bulldogs surged ahead by claiming the next 2 sets, but the Pilots recovered to win the 4th with the help of kills from Reagan Pukas, Kaylee Thompson, and Hannah Troutman. In the 5th and deciding set, Gonzaga jumped out to an early lead before claiming the win at the Child Center. With preseason well underway, women's basketball coach Cheryl Sorensen and senior Ashley Gray took a little break to head to Las Vegas for the annual WCC basketball tip-off event. The event moved to Vegas this season as the league celebrates the 10-year anniversary of the conference championships being held at the Orleans Arena. While in Vegas, Coach Sorensen and Gray met with members in the media and offered a preview of the upcoming year.
Looking back on it, time's just flown since I've been at UP, and I just think I'm looking forward the most to just getting out on the court, playing my final year, leaving everything I got, and just having a great year with the new team that we have, and leaving all we have out there and see what we can do.
The men's hoops team also made their way to Vegas as senior Philip Hartwich and head coach Terry Porter represented the Pilots. Coach Porter and Hartwich made the rounds at the Orleans Arena, taking questions from the media as well as fans from social media. And both the men's and women's basketball preseason polls were released during the event. With the regular season right around the corner, Coach Porter gave some thoughts on the new-look Pilots.
The makeup of the group is totally different than last year. I mentioned that we have, of our perimeter guys, we have guys that can really do a good job of penetrating, have good floor vision, have good size, and so I'm excited about this year. I think, like anything, players grow from year to year, and so do coaches. They get a good feel, at least the good ones do, they get a good feel for the group of guys they had previously, who they got coming in, what sets, offensively, defensively, whatever they have, based on the strength of their collective players and teams, how that's going to fit, and try to find something to make them successful.
Coming up next, Coach Porter visits us in person, and we'll have plenty of more questions for the second-year head coach. You're watching Portside of the Pilots on NBC Sports Northwest. Welcome back to Portside of the Pilots. Joining us now is men's basketball head coach Terry Porter. Coach, you're now in your second year on the Bluff. How does your approach this year different than last?
Well, I think I have a much better feel for, obviously, the team, guys who return, better understand them. Just kind of first year, I think like anything, from going from the professional ranks to the college, you have a better feel for the college game. So I feel really good about, where this team at and what we've taught up to this point and how much they've been able to grasp and really try to execute.
So you're a few weeks into the preseason. First game is right around the corner.
Yeah.
How is this season going so far?
It's going good. It's going good. We had a couple weeks now of practice. I think the guys have really done a good job with good attitudes, bringing in a strong work ethic, and really competing, really pushing each other in the same breath, though supporting each other. So I've been very pleased with every day guys getting better and having some carryover from the previous day on things that we've corrected and things we've tried to teach them.
And this roster, a large group of newcomers. They're tabbed as the number 10 recruiting class coming in. What can you expect from those guys, and who has stood out for you so far?
Yeah, I think the important thing as we looked at our roster from last year, thought of areas that we thought we needed some continued improvement and some growth in. I think perimeter play was one of them. I think ball handling one of them, and shooting was one of them. And I think we kind of addressed most of those in this recruiting class. I think they all will be in a good position to really contribute this year. I think they've all have come in pretty good shape, but they're young guys, and so from that standpoint, there's a lot of stuff they have to learn in regards within our system.
And then the returners, you have a couple seniors, a couple juniors on the roster. What can we expect from the upperclassmen this year?
Well, I think, again, I challenged those guys last year, all the guys who were returning, to come back in the best shape of their lives and really be ready to show great leadership, use their voices, and how they want to end their legacy, so to speak, their senior year, how they want their senior year to play out. And so I think that when you talk about Phil and Demo, both have really done a great job. They're improved in some of the areas we talked to them about improving. Demo shooting the ball extremely well right now, and Phil has really stepped up his offensive game as well. So we're very excited and optimistic about those guys' ability to contribute, and not only on the court but also in the locker room, and show great leadership.
And you guys went to London in August. It looked like you had a ton of fun. Also won some ball games while you were over there. What did you guys accomplish with that trip?
Well, the first thing we wanted to accomplish, because you talk about the recruiting class and so many new guys, we wanted to kind of get in a situation where we can do some team building. Guys can kind of get away and be together and get a chance to know each other, hang out with each other, and start building those relationships, those team bonding type of opportunities. And I thought that trip served that purpose. But also playing in some games, giving us a chance to see how guys play together, and it was really good for us to see.
So you're still somewhat of a big celebrity around here, dating back to your days with the Blazers. Last weekend you had a bottle signing at the new season, got a chance to meet with some of your fans. Tell me what that experience was like.
a great experience. Obviously, you know, to be able to be a part of people's childhood, be a part of their life, and you don't know at the time how you impact them, and you hear so many great stories when you get into an environment like that. They come up and talk about them watching the game with their dad, or driving somewhere and driving back to somewhere, and their dad's listening to the game on the radio, and you just don't know how many, you know, families that you impacted. You know, people have shared with me, you know, one of the things my dad loved to do when he was alive was listen to you guys' games. He loved you guys so much and couldn't wait to, you know, for game time. And so when you think about that, and you think about just, you know, how much joy and excitement you brought to people, and it's great to hear that. And that, you know, I tell them it's thank them for all their support, because you know, obviously this kid coming from Stevens Point, Wisconsin wasn't something that I think most Oregonians thought about in regards to their draft picks, but it's turned out great for me, and I hope the fans have really enjoyed it, because I've enjoyed my years as a Blazer.
And back to your current team, style of play, always a popular topic among the fans. What can we expect from the players on the court this season?
Yeah, I think, you know, defensively, I think that's the area we've talked about from day one, and we got to get a lot better at that. I think we will. I think with our speed and quickness on the perimeter, I think we'll do a better job of guarding the ball and, you know, not having as many breakdowns at times. We're getting pretty good rim protection, so I'm excited about that. And then offensively, we're going to really try to play up tempo a little bit. We have the capabilities of really playing big, small, do a lot of driving and kicking and shooting the three ball, really use the three ball as a weapon this year.
PK 80 is less than a month away.
Wow.
Big time event, some big time teams coming in. What can being a part of something like that bring to your program?
Well, obviously, you talk about the platform and the stage you're on, you know, national ESPN televised game, during the holidays, playing the defending champion. So all those things are things that will enhance our program and give us the type of exposure, and then give our guys a chance to really compete against the best. One of the things we talk about during recruiting is our non-conference schedule, and us going out and trying to test ourselves against some of the best. And what better test is there than playing the defending champions on ESPN during the holidays? So we're very excited about it, and our guys are excited about it, and we know the challenges that is in front of us, but we're embracing those, and you know, really looking forward to having a chance to play it kind of in our backyard and have the city of Portland really come out and support us.
Absolutely. Coach Porter, we appreciate your time. Good luck the rest of the season.
All right. Thank you so much, Rock.
Coming up, it's more Coach Porter and men's basketball as the Pilots look to Portland's Army ROTC program for a culture-building experience. Portside of the Pilots on NBC Sports Northwest continues after the break. Portland men's basketball head coach Terry Porter has a lot of new faces on this year's roster. With 9 newcomers, 2 returning redshirts, and 4 lettermen back, creating a team culture has been a key focus during preseason training. Porter had a unique idea for this year that involved the campus ROTC program.
Every year we like to try to do some type of preseason team building. And we really wanted to try to go and venture into the armed forces and some of their just training process, how they go about building a team that has a lot of new personalities, and work through some of their exercise sessions.
Coach Porter actually reached out to the ROTC department and asked us if we would help him with a team building event for his team. It was a 4-day event with the focus being on team building. We really wanted to hone down and make this a really, really tight-knit team. So day 1 was kind of a breakdown phase. We broke down we kind of stripped the team of their individual identities, broke them down, and built them back up into one singular team. So there was no one better, no one worse, no special people, just a special team.
The very first day was down at River Campus, and we ran hills as a team, and we were trying to build team cohesion and attack the hill together as a team, because in the beginning we didn't do that, so we had to do it over and over and over again. And by the end of it, it was pretty tough, but we finally accomplished to go up and down the hill as one unit, and so he was pleased with us.
I don't know what I've been told. I don't know what I've been told, but I like.
Second day, we learned how to tie 3 different knots. that we would use for the last day to get over one rope bridge, which is basically used to get over like a river if you were in the Army. It was basically like a mental toughness day, and we had to kind of split it up, so one person would learn one knot, another person would learn another knot, and just kind of teach each other.
I'll take you down there. We're going to demonstrate the one rope bridge. One time.
It's how guys face adversity. I mean, we know that we're going to face adversity on the road and even at home, but during those critical times, those crucial times when adversity, are we going to be able to really lean on each other and support each other, get us through those situations where we can have success?
Tie it wrong, it'll teach you to tie it right.
Push your belly up to the rope.
Watch your head.
The third day was this week, and we ran like 4 miles, I think, something like that. And the goal was to move as one unit in the same cadence, in the same step. And so along the way we got taught some military chants. And in the end he even let us come up with one of our own.
I don't know what I've been told. I don't know what I've been told. I don't know what I've been told.
Less than a mile to go.
Yep.
It's easy.
Too easy, too easy. Too easy to get.
The last day tied everything together. We started with running the hill, taking the chain up a hill, and that was kind of difficult. Some people were saying we should run, some people were saying we should walk, but we had to go as fast as the team could go.
So day 4 was a combination of all the things, all the sessions up to that, and it was meant to be a very difficult, challenging day for them.
It was good to see Coach Porter out there with us. Anytime one of your leaders goes out there and is doing it with you is always good.
Everybody's got to, be willing to step in and help and contribute. And so for me, it was just my small part of being in there and having an opportunity to sweat with them and let them know that I'm there with them as well. And I'm willing to go down that journey with them.
One thing Sergeant Dar said was that he wouldn't ask anyone to do anything for him that he wouldn't do himself.
Right? If I'm asking you to do it, it means I can do it too. That's leadership.
To see Coach Porter out there kind of reiterated that message, and to know that he would really go out there and do it with us.
We tested their energy. We tested their efforts at times, and so I think at times there were some slippage and some breakdowns, but I thought when that happened, collectively they came together to try to support each other, and they rotated when guys got tired of carrying weights, and so that was all part of it. And it's just what happens in a game. A guy's getting tired, a guy sub in, guy goes in and tries to pick him up, and so all those areas I think are going to be very important for us throughout the whole year.
Pilots on 3. 1, 2, 3. Pilots. 4, 5, 6. Pilots.
With so many hurricanes affecting so much of the country, collegiate men's basketball teams nationwide are doing their part to help raise funds for disaster relief. Exhibition games are being played around the country, and the Pilots will join the effort when they host Eastern Washington on Sunday afternoon. Tip-off for the Pilots and Eagles is set for 5 o'clock, and tickets are $10 for adults and $5 for children. All ticket gate proceeds from the basketball exhibition game will support the American Red Cross and hurricane relief efforts. American Red Cross will also have a contingent on hand. They'll be accepting donations at both the basketball game and Portland's Sunday men's soccer match against San Francisco at 3 o'clock at Merlo Field.
The big thing here is charity. Whenever you have an opportunity to really support one of your own and show him that type of love, it's great. And so we're very excited about the game, and very excited about being able to raise money to help the many people that are hurting in Puerto Rico. We just want to go out, play well, and have a good showing by our fan base.
It's a big weekend for both the men's and women's cross-country programs as they head to the East Bay for the 2017 WCC Championships. The Portland men enter the race with their highest national ranking ever at number 3. BYU sits just ahead of the Pilots at number 2, and San Francisco is ranked 29th. The Pilots finished second last year in a close battle with BYU, and Portland has won 34 league titles during its storied history.
WCC's being on Friday. It's a fun event. It's always nice to try and win a conference title, but that's not the goal of the season. Our eyes are set and our training is set for November 18th. That is the national championship, where we want to contend with the top teams in the nation for a national title. It's a fun race. It's always nice to kind of see where you're at and get to compete against a second-ranked BYU Cougars. So it'll be fun, but not the end goal.
The Portland women are the reigning WCC champions, and the 2016 title was the 20th all-time for the Pilots. The women's field features number 4 San Francisco and number 18 BYU. The Pilots will be led by freshman Yasmine Lau and junior Taryn Rawlings, who earned all WCC honorable mention a year ago.
I think it's been really exciting to see how the younger girls have been able to step up, and I think a lot of them have made huge jumps from where they were last year, and that's just really exciting to see as a program going forward to next year as well. This is going to be the first conference meet for a lot of our girls on varsity this year, and so I think that's really exciting for them. It's a great opportunity, and I think we're really ready. Training's gone really well. We're kind of past that period of really hard training, and now we're kind of just sharpening up, and I think people are feeling good and they're just really excited, so I think we'll do well.
Meanwhile, back in Portland, we have a loaded home schedule starting Thursday night with women's soccer hosting San Diego and volleyball facing Santa Clara inside the Chow Center. Friday night features men's soccer hosting the Broncos, and Saturday brings 2 more home events with volleyball playing USF at 1 o'clock and women's soccer taking on BYU at 7. The match with the Cougars is senior night for the Pilots. The busy slate concludes on Sunday with rowing starting bright and early at the Portland Fall Classic on the Willamette River in downtown Portland. Men's soccer hosts San Francisco at 3, and men's basketball ends the day with the exhibition and fundraiser against Eastern Washington. And we're out of time, but be sure to send us any questions, requests for content, or just give us some feedback by using the hashtag Portside on social media. And that will do it for this episode of Portside of the Pilots. We will see you next week.